Hi everybody, welcome to Live with Children. Sadly, it's coming to the end of SLAS Europe for me this week in Hamburg, but I'm delighted to be saving the best till last as I catch up with SLAS's CEO, Vicki, who's going to tell us more about this year's event and also, no doubt, preview SLAS Boston as well. But Vicki, first, it's lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm great, Rizwan. How are you doing?
I'm very, very well, thank you. I'm sad to leave early, but I have to catch my flight. But I have to say, having been in Barcelona last year, I think this is, from my perspective anyway, and from a lot of the exhibitors I've spoken to, it seems like a lot busier than last year. And also, I think the layout is much better personally than it was in Barcelona. So tell me, for viewers who aren't familiar with SLAS, first of all, give us a quick overview of SLAS, if you don't mind.
Yes, well, you are absolutely right. It is a lot busier this year. That's because we have record-setting attendance numbers this year. I'm going to announce the final number in the closing session, and I can tell you that we're well over 1,700 people at this event. So this has been our largest Europe conference ever, and we are absolutely thrilled. It's also the most exhibiting companies we've ever had. So that's also why the layout feels a little bit different, a little more busy, bustling, and just a great vibe. And
just to put that into context, how many people did you get in Barcelona last year?
In Barcelona last year, I'm going to say we had about 1,100 people.
Right, okay, so it's a significant jump year on year. That's great. Now, in terms of the talks and the trends, what's the feedback been from delegates in terms of talks you've had? So I know you've had a lot of talks this week.
Yeah, we've had great feedback on all of the scientific content, all of the exhibitor tutorials. Really top-notch content at this conference. As you can maybe hear behind you, we're standing right in front of the posters. These have been busy for 2 straight days, so the content here has just been over the top.
Brilliant. And looking ahead to next year, I know the event's in Vienna next year.
We are.
But you will be coming back to Hamburg, I'm sure.
Yes.
So when are the dates for next year? Because I know you've announced them.
So in Vienna next year, we are there again in May. It's just a few days earlier than this year. I believe it's the 19th and the 21st.
Right.
And then we'll be back here in Hamburg in 2027, 2029, and 2031.
Fantastic. Now, I know you also did this week some on-site visits, particularly on the Monday, which sort of preceded the actual conference exhibition. So how did they go and what's the feedback for that? And also, couldn't we expect something similar in Vienna?
Yes, absolutely. So you're right. We held technology provider showcases for the first time on the day before the conference started. Those were held at Evotech, Accelerate, and Revity and Fraunhofer. They were very well received, both by the attendees as well as those technology providers. Everybody had great experiences, had some opportunity with some hands-on learning at some of those sites. So really great feedback, and we're 100% continuing that next year in Vienna. They will be at the Vienna Bio Center next year.
That's brilliant. Now, looking ahead, I know you're now in the rotation back in Boston next year for SLAS annual conference and exhibition. So again, what can people expect next year? Anything different to what you've had this year in San Diego?
So we're actually going to do one of these technology provider showcases, we believe, in Boston too. We're firming up those details right now, so check out the website, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, the international conference will be very similar to what we've seen previous events of the conference in Boston. We're starting to see that Boston sort of has its very own vibe and flair, where we get a lot of folks from that local Boston-Cambridge community who come into the event. So expect to see a lot of smaller companies, biotech startups, and that sort of thing, who are attending, viewing the exhibits, or even exhibiting themselves.
Great. And final question for you. Apart from the 2 main events that we just talked about, what else can people expect to see from SLAS over the next few months?
Well, next week we are launching the beta of our Workforce Accelerator, which is taking place at Carnegie Mellon University. This is a hands-on skills training is currently booked full. But like I said, this is the beta test. We will be launching the official version of it in the fall, again at Carnegie Mellon. So stay tuned for that. Check out the website for those dates. We'll be announcing when that registration becomes available.
Fantastic. Well, look, Vicky, it's lovely to see you as always. Viewers, if you have never been to an SLAS event, check out the website above this and make sure you do go and attend one. They are great events, whether you're in Europe or in North America. And Vicky, all I have to say is thanks very much for letting me come once again to one of your events. I really enjoyed the time in Hamburg. I thought it was a great show, and I wish you lots of success for the future. And viewers, thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.